data from the database. So we have also functions update functionality, where we can update the data on the form that we have. So it's there's many way to update now. It's either you are going to use another file for update process, and you can also have the same file with the process. In procedural, we have a lot of the programmers gives a lot of convenient if working those things. Pero ang naka-disadvantage, your work or your code must be messy. Kaya daghan sa asa naman ba dulang walay organization. So I am trying my best not to be messy with your codes and explaining to you that all the scripts that related to transaction to the database are inside in one folder, which is script. Okay? Then those, or makita ninyo kaning mga forms like sign in, index, dashboard, all those things are just forms only for viewing purposes. Nasa gawas. But all the scripts like for creating, searching, whatsoever is done with the script for us really not to mess up. Okay, so going back with the user profile, this is now the form. As you can see, there is a form intended to. So we forgot to put names of all the fields. We only have value. We forget not to put the name. So the ID and the name is still the same. So we don't need now this ID. It's only representation. We disabled automatically. We cannot use it. We just only for presentation. So all we need to do is to create names. Those the things that we need to change. Okay. By the way, we don't need not to change the username. Okay. So that is our also we need to change that one. For your username, this is disabled. So disabled na siya. So we don't need to change the username. Okay. So because all the transactions we have, all that is our key. So we don't need na. So all the things that we have is the last name. So name, L name. Oh no, we can change the same thing in your ID. Do that name convention. First name. So the name again. F name. And we have also name again, M name. We have also date added, right? We cannot change the date added, diba? Because once it are being saved, wala problema. So only what we can change only the last name, first name, and middle name. If in case ba, there are changes, there are problem. So date added is not been changed naman. So kanila first name. Okay, those threes we need to change. So all we need to do is to know the form behavior. We know that the form doesn't have any method yet. So I want it to method is post. Then the action. So I want it to make another file to process everything. So I'll go to the script and I will use user and then update. So user update. So that PHP. So once the form is being clicked, it will go directly to users update.php. The same thing. First thing that we are going to do is to check if the user really clicked the button in order to reach the user update, or we will check if this one is already copy and paste it. Okay, so two scenarios. We want it to check to click, not to direct or visiting on the link. So we are going to create on the script, we are going to create the file that we need to, which is the user update. So user update.php. So now, once we have the user updated PHP, there's a time that we have to create our script. So first thing that we need to do is for database connection. Okay, and also as you can see in our other scripts like login, log out, starts now with there is a session start and checking if it will be so we will going to use this one, session start. So if session is not, if the session is username, okay, it's session destroy. So so we will just start here a session and check if there's a session. We will continue our transaction. So okay, and we will just revise or invert this logic since this is not a log out logic. So if there's a session out, mo siyang i-log out. This one, if there is a session, continue. Okay, continue working on it. So you don't need to destroy. Just continue working on it. There's a session. Or we can just do this one. If not set, then if not set, we go directly to header. If not set, we go to sign in that PHP. Then we go to the else, and on the else we do whatever we can do for our forms. Nasa ato ang system that we turn na ta functionality. Okay, so next thing is we know if the button is checked. So na check ba ang button? So we go to the where is it? The user profile. We don't even name that button, so we name it to user update btn. That is the name of our button. So remember that this is a method for post. So in here, if set, okay, if not set, okay, if set, if set session, name of that button. If na-click siya, then continue. If else, hindi siya na-click, we go directly to okay, that one, sign in. So we check it. If ma-click, okay, bato ba nagdas dashboard? If ma-click, what happened? If set, so dili set, sorry, my it is post, sorry, not session, post, ano sir, post na siya, dili siya session, post, okay, form man siya, form. Okay, going back to the profile, update, okay, it's blank, it's working on the continue. But if we just directly put it there, okay, mabalik siya sign in, it because na siya session. So what happened if you access it without session? So you go directly to sign in. Since ganiyan naman tayo session, that's why it will go directly to dashboard. Okay, so you get that one point. So right now we cater whatever the data in here will be processed and go to user update. Okay, so in here, so we get the data. What are the names? We have L name, F name, M name. Those are the, so L name is equal to underscore post, and that one the same for F name, it's capitalized lang ito, and we have M name. Then, that is the problem for procedural. We rewrite codes often, especially if, example, katong ganiya, sa login. Because all the forms, basta we came up from the form, we need to check and validate if the data inside of that form is safe for going into our database. So, going back to our login, we see we created this function. We need to copy it again. That is why that is not good for code redundant. We have code redundancy in procedural. Kasi na lang, clean. So that is the time. The technique that I have here ganiha is to create another file, another variable for clean. For now, I'll be another technique for me is go directly in here. Just type clean and enclose that one in here. Still the same. It helps you shorten your codes. Okay, same na siya. Shorten code. So once you created a variable, you have this one and enclose it with the function clean. Meaning it makes clean. So it saves you 3 lines of codes. That is technique. The same thing that we do in here. Gibulag lang siya nato the process. But still the same. So now we have already the data needed. So we need to include na the database. So we need to include our database connection. So it's the same file. So we go directly to dbcon.php. So we have dbcon.php. So napay sulod ron. Thank you for coming. So include, and then we have SQL statement, variable SS statement, which is update user is equal to mysqli underscore statement pa man, sorry. So that is a statement. So we have to update table, which is user. That name is user. So update user, set, okay. Set last name, first name, middle name. Set last name is equal to L name, comma, first name is equal to F name, comma, middle name. This one that I am writing came from the columns from the database. First name, last name, middle name. Last name, middle name. And M name. Where set mo siya, all the data to be set where we get into the username. So we forgot to pass through the username, or naamantay session na username. That is why we don't need that to pass. We will just use the variable session for username. That is why username is equal to underscore session and user name. So question, why we don't need to clean na the session? Because from the beginning, before we set it as a session, na-clean naman na siya in sa login. Before ta nag-set of is equal to clean user, diba? Clean username naman na siya. So you don't need na to clean it. It's repetitive naman siya. So automatically just call it a session. So this is the value where the username is stored in the session pages. So where username is equal to user name. So this is now our SQL statement. So we have now the query, MySQLi underscore query, and we have con, the connection na to statement inside of the dbcon, and we have also have ss update user. But before that, let me try to do this one, because I forgot that the DB connection is all, every time that we have the database transactions, we also use this one function. Why not to copy this one, we cut that one, and also for the login, we are going to yes, that's great. Then we're going to remove that one, and we will include it on our dbcon in here. So every time then sort of changes before we use, because nana siya diri sa dbcon, so all we need to do is first declare the dbcon every time you use the clean nasa sa taas para ma-declare niya, because if nasa sa ubos, it cannot be declared kung saan nasa clean. So it's the same thing with our user profile app. Okay, this one, before they start, okay, we start, nagamit na to ang clean render so we include con in here. Pataas na to, i-include si con, so no need to include it here. So we have now the query. So now, so if we check na to, if query, it's directly lang. If query, we have something to say, else something to say also. So all of those are the same. It will go directly to the user profile. So all of those are going to header location user profile page. My goodness, sorry for that.